Hello, beautiful and exotic women of the world. Today I want to discuss why people are obsessed with you after you exit stage left. After you are done with them and there's no more you and them. When you fall out with someone and they turn into your enemy and you realize that this person was never for you, they were most likely using you, or they betrayed you in some way, maybe they were threatened or insecure. They just weren't genuine. Usually these people tend to be very obsessed with you after you choose to leave their life. Number one, a lot of times these people get supply out of cutting you off first. If they're in the wrong and they choose to leave your life for whatever reason, like to just be able to say that they cut you off, or to be able to say that they're no longer friends with you and they made that power move, they'll do that. So even if they were in the wrong and they know they're wrong, because their ego can't take you leaving, they'll leave you first, or they'll break up with you in a friendship first. So if you choose to leave them alone first, that is enough for them to be like so obsessed with you, because they can't understand how you had the willpower to get up and leave. A lot of times they pride themselves on cutting people off or ghosting people or leaving people alone after they've done something trifling. So it's like they did all that fuck shit and they turn around and ghost you. So it's almost like they put the knife in and then they twisted it. But if you put the knife in first and you were right and they did you dirty, that's hard for their ego to take, and it feels like punishment for them. It feels like, they have to actually sit with their emotions and sit with the feelings that they're feeling from being rejected and being ghosted and cut off, and they actually have to self-reflect. And that's something that a lot of people who have narcissistic traits don't like doing, who are sociopathic. They literally cannot introspect and look within and look themselves in the mirror. So when you remove yourself first, it forces them to have to look themselves in the mirror and be real about where they went wrong. So when that happens, usually they become obsessed with you because you're now this person that's taught them this huge lesson, and they kind of just are hoping that they can get you back in their life, whether it's to make amends and actually genuinely apologize, or a lot of times it's just so that they can get back in your good graces so that they can do it all over again. That's why I say it's so important that after you cut a friend off or a man off, you leave them in the past. You don't bring them into your future. They're the past for a reason. So you never want to give anyone a second chance to hurt you. Another reason why they become obsessed with you after you leave their lives is because they've hurt people in the past the same way they hurt you. So the same thing that they did to you, they've done to someone else. And they know that their actions left a lasting impact on those people's lives. But when they came across you and tried it on you and it didn't exactly leave that lasting impact that they were hoping for, and it didn't do the same type of damage, it makes them furious. But it also makes them curious. Because for one, they couldn't break you, right? And I have a lot of videos on my channel about that. A lot of people get a kick out of destroying people, destroying strong, beautiful women. And when they can't do that, even though it's worked with other women and in other instances, it makes them so curious about you, because now you're like this anomaly. You're this person who didn't die. And the first thing I think about when I think about this phenomenon is Beyonce's song, You Won't Break My Soul. And when they realize that they can't break your spirit, how they've broken other people's spirits, because that's how they are able to continue on with life, is when they know that they've been able to hurt someone or get someone to stop being themselves or stop shining. They steal that light from you, and then they go off and try to level up off of that and go do it to the next person. So when they have a failed attempt at breaking your soul, it is so destructive to them and what their ideals are, because they've built their entire life off of the idea that if I destroy this person, I can steal their destiny. I can steal their confidence. I can steal their light. I can steal their essence. I can steal their gifts. I can steal their blessings. But when they fail to do so, that's when they become crazy. They become obsessed with you and they begin to stalk your page. I've had so many people. I have had a friend who did me really dirty, and she used to send me DMs after I unfollowed her and took her off my social media and blocked her number. She would send me DMs in the middle of the night, y'all, and I'm not even lying. I wish I saved the messages so I can show you guys the receipts. But she would DM me in the middle of the night. I'm talking 3, 4 in the morning, trying to make conversation, trying to act like she didn't know why I cut her off. She would try to bait me to have a conversation with her, and I'm not going for it. I'm not doing it. She would also send her flying monkey friend to do her dirty work too and try to get me to talk to her again and be like, oh, what's going on with you guys? Like, can we at least have a conversation? You know that you're wrong. You don't want to admit that you're wrong, and you're trying to bait me into having some type of final closure conversation so that you can sit there and gaslight me like how I Spice did Cleopatra, but I'm not going for it. That's why I don't have closure conversations with men or with women that I'm in friendships with, because when they did you wrong and you're about to bring them the facts, they're going to gaslight, they're going to deflect, they're going to try to flip the script on you to make it seem like they're the victim. And because they can't admit they're the problem, and because they have a hard time holding themselves accountable, being real, being genuine, they're going to make the whole conversation about you being wrong, you having the wrong idea, you doing them dirty, when in reality, they were the ones that did you wrong. So I don't have those types of closure conversations. I just ghost. I just cut you off. And I can't tell you guys how many times I have left people alone and they've become obsessed. They've stalked my social media. They've tried to get through to me through my friends. I cut off my ex, and he's tried to go through my friends to get to me, like tried to message my friends to send me a message and all this other stuff. I just don't understand it, but I do, because it really is they're losing control and they're used to damaging someone to the point of no return. And when you don't go for that, when you get better from people burning you, it's like a wonder of the world for them. They can't fathom it. They can't wrap their brain around it. They can't wrap their brain around how you have continued with life. Usually they do these things to people and people's life fall to pieces. Like, they literally are down bad. But me, I've never been that type of person. If I take any L's, I take it offline. That's number one. No one really knows about it. And for the most part, I'm blessed. So even if I do happen to be really hurt by the situation, I may mourn the friendship or relationship for however long I need to, but outwardly you will never know that, because that's just the type of person I am. Like, I've never shown somebody outwardly that I'm hurting because they're no longer in my life. Like, if anything, that makes me want to go harder to just be a better version of myself. And then I just start popping off on social media and I'm just looking good. And so that's my superpower, because I've had to deal with so many of these instances that I know that they're looking for a moment to see me down or a moment to see me sad or going through it. And I just don't give them that opportunity to see it. So that's another reason why they become obsessed with you, is because you survived that thing that was meant to break you. And really, they're just confused as to why their efforts didn't prevail over you. And I can't speak for anyone else but myself, but I know that I walk with the Most High and I have the sheltering of God over me and the covering of the blood of the Lamb. So baby, like, you coming up against me is never ever gonna end well for you. Like, I always tell people that you go against me, you're going against God, because when I come into a friendship or a relationship, I'm genuine. I'm always thorough. I'm always that friend that you could rely on, call on. I'm that woman who's loyal. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in the relationship. I play my role, and I'm also just a genuinely good person to people, you know. And when you do me dirty, you're doing the Most High dirty, because I was brought into your life for a reason, and it was most likely to bless you in whatever capacity. And that's not me tooting my own horn or anything or bragging, but that's just literally facts. Like, when I come into someone's life, I'm there to bless them. When someone comes into my life, I'm expecting them to be a genuine person to me and bless me with their genuine character and with their good vibes and with their friendship or with their love. When they go against me, you literally are going against God. So you have to now answer for that to the Most High. Like, that's not my problem anymore. I excuse myself and remove myself from the equation, and I let the Most High handle that ass. So that's why the efforts never really prevail over me, because I walk with the almighty power. So yeah, I might hurt from the situation, but I'm never gonna sit there and like allow my life to go to shit because you decided to show your ass. Like, it's just never gonna happen that way. And so many people, unfortunately, don't have the strength and the wisdom and the courage to bounce back from friendship breakups or from, you know, relationship breakups. But I want to encourage you ladies to be that woman who doesn't allow those things to prevail over you. Learn your value, know your worth, and know that there are people out here who are literally out here just trying to destroy people's characters and souls for the fun of it. Once you realize that there are people who are out here doing that shit for sport, you would move so much more tactical, because you know that there are people who are just doing this shit for fun. And it's not cool, it's not fair, but that will help you to not have any feelings or emotions behind how cold you get when time comes for you to remove yourself. You gotta be a cold ass bitch. You gotta be cold in this world because there are people who are doing this stuff for shits and giggles. So ladies, drop down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Also, I'll be leaving my email in the description box so you can share your stories with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.